So, so Bridge Alliance is a network of organizations who are doing not just bridge building work, but really looking to make collective impact and not only improve the nature of our politics in this country, but also show people that there is another way besides a Republican way and a Democratic way, that we're not in this dual system by chance. You know, there's really another alternative, and we can actually create the future that we want to see, and we do that by working together.
And now I've talked to you before in the context of the Coffee Party.
Right.
Can you talk about some of your previous sort of political activism experience and how that's
And still
shaped
current.
but how what you've done has sort of shaped your vision for the future?
I'm going to reframe that just a little bit.
Sure.
So, a lot of my personal work in this world is about helping us consciously renegotiate our social contract. The contract that, you know, the understandings, the common understandings that we have about how we treat each other was last settled, if you will, after World War II. And what we've seen, you know, over the last 70 years is that that agreement is no longer sufficient to meet the needs of today's society. And so all of the work that I do is about helping us consciously decide how do we actually want to treat each other, what type of governance system do we want to have, and what is it that's going to propel us into the future. So on the micro level, at the very small level, I work with Living Room Conversations, which is a 6-person conversation, structured conversation that will help people talk about difficult topics with people who have different viewpoints and end up having a really great connecting conversation where people leave friends, you know, and it's a wonderful way to do it and help people understand that there's multiple viewpoints and they're all equally valid, or a lot of them are valid. The other project that I work on the macro level then is the Bridge Alliance, working with organizations who are doing collective impact and bridge building work to connect us with each other. I have to move this. And you can have the chair now. And then the last organization that I currently work with is Coffee Party. And Coffee Party is a great social media presence, and it's all about sharing the stories that we don't necessarily hear from mainstream media. So Coffee Party will be out there. They'll be covering original content blogs. They'll be covering independent news journalists like yourself, and helping people actually look for and seek out more than one source of information, because it really helps us engage in our critical thinking skills and not just always to that emotional reaction that from which most of us actually vote.
Do you think that people depending on only, you know, one or two sources of news contributes to that polarity?
I think it depends on the person. So sometimes people who only have one or two news sources can be very closed-minded, and that's their worldview, and that's the way it is. But sometimes they're also very open-minded, and they've chosen news sources that are from different perspectives. And so a lot of it has to do with how we ourselves see the world, and if we see it as a fixed reality outside of ourselves that we're simply reacting to, which is a very unempowered way of looking at the world, but a lot of people live that way. And then the other way of looking at the world is by understanding that it's all of us working together, and there's a collective energy, and we each have to do our part. And so having respect for other people, honoring the dignity of a human being, regardless of status, is a way that we can actually help each other heal, because there's some fracturing happening right now. Help each other heal, and then help us decide what we want for the future, and then go out and create it.